Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is the Thunder Show, aka Wine Library TV. So we are outside in beautiful New Jersey. The bouquet of New Jersey air, so underrated. The terroir, better than expected. And it's, 95, 96 degrees today, nice and warm. And I've decided, I've been practicing, you've been watching me practice, it's time for a marathon. And today is a summer whites, or let's call it summer drink marathon. So without further ado, I'm gonna get right into that. But before I do, I know I have the CKC, the College Kids Crew. If you're one, please put it down and face me up on Facebook. I know I have the Stock Exchange Crew because I've been getting some emails. I'm curious if there's any other crews out there. Do you and 6 or 10 of your associates by some sort of gang watch WLTV? If you do, leave a comment today. I'd appreciate it. I'm running a marathon for you. You can do it for me. Let's get right into the wines. The first wine is the Teddy Hall, baby, Teddy Hall, 2006 Chenin Blanc. This wine is $7 US, 89 points, Steven Tanzer, probably one of the best QPR values Steven Tanzer has ever done, and for 7 bones, and is from South Africa. Chenin Blanc really intrigues me. It's a great white in the summer. Now let me tell you something about this show. You will notice that all of these wines, every one of them, is not chilled. Room temperature. Chilling hides the flavor. I know on a day like this, that's nuts. Maybe I don't even recommend it for you to do, but for me to professionally taste them, or pseudo-professionally, I mean, look at me. But to pseudo-professionally taste them, I like to have them not cold. This allows me to taste the true essence of the wine. The cold is not hiding the wine. Let's get into this. 7 bones, my God, you can burn yourself on these. 7 bones, 89 points, Steven Tanzer. It is very nice out here, very hot. Chris Mott, sweating up a storm. I'm getting beautiful, ripe, green grape flavors, a little hint of grass, which I like quite a bit, some straw action. I think the Scarecrow is in here, but so is the Tin Man, because there's a stainless steel component going on to this wine that I like. It gives a crispness, a cleanness. I think Steven Tanzer hit it on the head on the overall quality of this wine. This is a nice value. I'm getting some floral aspects on the finish. I like the crispness. This is absolutely a wine for people that enjoy the cleanness aspect, the clean cut, sharp aspect of a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, minus the over-the-top grapefruit aspect. I give this wine an 88 plus. I think it's an exceptional wine for 7 bones, and this marathon is off to a good start. Let's move on. This should be interesting. This is the Broglia 2006 Gavi, $15 US wine, $15 US. It's an Italian wine. Gavi is extremely popular in Italy, not so much here in the US, and I think that's a major mistake. I'm a big fan of Gavi. I think they're tremendous white wines, and I'm excited about trying this. This has a very nice golden color as well. As you can see, it's a nice golden color, and not too dark like an over oak Chardonnay, but definitely a pretty color to it. Now, what I love about the bouquet of a Gavi is you get a little bit of a lemon zest, but you also get a little bit of a very intriguing potpourri of like peach and apricot, dried peaches and apricot action going on in the nose, which I enjoy quite a bit. Let's give it a whirl. Comes across a little bit with like a wet rock aspect. I'm enjoying the overall cleanness of this wine as well. It's also not over oaked or over the top. It's bringing some really nice cantaloupe aspect flavors to the table. A little lemon peel, a little espresso action, like that lemon peel going on in this wine. Overall, though, the quality cup falls a little flabby and short for me. The body is medium. I'd like it a little bit more fully, a little bit more intense. I guess at the end of the day, for me, this is an 87-point wine. I like it, it's nice, but at 15 bones, this is a major pass with 6 Z's. Let's move on. Dol Ferriero 2006 Alberino. This is a $20 US. It's a Alberino from Spain and made from 100% Alberino grape. And give it a little whirl here, a little rinsey bince. And let's give it a try. What you have to love about Alberino is the beautiful petrol pineapple, I call it, P squared. I get always a very intriguing petrol pineapple aspect to me. Not petrol like Alsace, but definitely a auto body shop component. And I don't want to call it gas or gasoline. I'm not even sure exactly what it is, but it comes through, and there's a little hint of that pineapple action. Also a very intriguing lime component on the mid-nose, which I like. Let's give it a whirl. Tremendous body weight and explosiveness and overall structure in this wine. I like the cleanness again, the lack of the over oak. I find it fuller bodied than the last 3 wines for sure, a lot more complex. There's a dry, sour, like sour softball flavor going on. If you've ever had like those Nerf football, if you ever had those spongy Nerf footballs or the Nerf basketball in your room, and you ever dipped that, leave it here, and you ever dipped that into a lime, lemon, Sprite reduction kind of juice, dipped it and soaked it in, that's what this would taste like. Ooh, the wind's picking up a little. That's good for the breeze. I like that. Overall, a very serious wine, a well-made wine. I'm gonna give it an 89. I think it's a complete wine, a nice wine. It's lacking a little bit of the explosive flavor and excitement that I would like from an Alberino, but overall, a well-produced wine, and kudos. 20 bucks, I'm gonna have to go towards the pass side, but if you're rolling with some bucks, if you're big pimpin' style, you should definitely seek this out. Let's move on. Villa Maria, everybody's favorite Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, has brought us a Riesling. Thank you, Villa Maria. 2006 private bin, $10 US, 89 points from our friends at the Wine Spectator. Let's give it a whirl. So, the Villa Maria. What can we talk about this? Riesling in New Zealand. Definitely something that we're seeing a lot more coming to the US on this. They're nicely priced, 10 bones. They're the New World style. Most of the Rieslings that we see in the States outside of California are coming from Alsace and Germany. So it's fun to see another country get into the game. You know what I feel about Riesling. Very underrated, underappreciated. So I'm excited about trying this. Again, a nice color situation going on this wine. Beautiful nose on this wine. It almost tastes like wet leaves in the fall, walking through, you know, your local street, your street. You know, it's got a lot of earthy components going on, but a very, almost not a mildewy, but definitely like a wet leaf component. And then almost like a little bit of a bug spray aspect, which may not sound perfect, a little raid action. I know, go with me here. It's not horrible and it's subtle, but it's there. Let's give it a whirl. Classic Alsatian flavors with a little boost, a little steroids action. Maybe a little Brett Boone in here. Really well made, not bone dry, but definitely dry. A little component of fruit, more so than you may see from the Alsatian version of this kind of wine. Overall, pretty likable. I've got to agree with my pals at Spectator. This is a solid bottle of wine. I'm going to back it up and double up on the 89-point score they gave it. And for 10 bones, a tremendous entry into the Riesling world. This is the kind of wine that you want to drink in the first year or two. It goes great with salads, crabs, oysters. This is a very intriguing wine, and a wine cold on a day like this that you will totally rock out to. I like this wine. It should definitely be seeked. No, every time I say seek.
Sought.
Sought. English skills. Sought out. Nice wine. Now the Germans want a chance. Emmerich Schloleber, 2006 Trocken Riesling. It's a very little producer, and the reason I wanted to choose this was it's 15 US, and it's a Trocken Riesling, which means it's dry. Trocken, dry. Remember that. If you're looking for dry aspects in Riesling, you want to look for the German Trockens. 15 bones, great producer, great, nice little spritzy color. I don't mind that at all. Let's give it a little color action. We're feeding Bobby under there. You saw him a couple episodes ago. Let's give this a whirl. Now this is much more of an aromatic explosion. Out of all the wines, this is definitely bringing the thunder on the nose. I like it. Psh, definitely bringing the thunder. Beautiful. A peach, apricot, pear, fruit salad with a little hint of lime sauce. I like it a whole lot. Even throw in a little composite of honeycomb in there, which is quite interesting. This is a very beautiful aromatic wine. Let's give it a whirl. Extremely dry. Yes, Rieslings can be dry. Very dry, bone dry. I get an interesting component of stone. I get a little hint of pebbles at the bottom of your aquarium. Overall, it's a little flabby, extremely zesty and zingy on the finish. Lemon lime, Sprite. You can eat your heart out to this wine. If that's a component you like, this is a wine you may want to seek out. However, at the $15 price tag, I'm going to give it a pass because I'm going to score this wine 86 points. All in all, I was hoping for a lot more from this wine. I really wanted to show the Vaniacs out there a good example of bone dry Riesling. It's a good producer. It didn't do a lot for me. 2006, a nice year for the dry wines, but it just didn't deliver. Let's move on. Start seeing if my friend the Oak Monster can make an appearance. But before I do, I want to get on a little rant. Two little things: a statement and an observation. I've had a lot of people lately come up to me, shaking my hand and hugging me and congratulating me, not because of Wine Library TV, but because I kiss my father when he leaves the room, or because anybody I talk to in my family, when I'm done talking to them, I say I love you. I've declared this a sad situation. The Vaniac Nation that watches this, I know who we are. We're good peeps. You're not watching this clown do this show if you're not a good guy or gal. So, if I can make one piece of advice, the best thing that I do in my life is tell my parents, my sister, my brother, everybody I love, even people at Wine Library, that I love them when I'm done with them on the phone. Mom, I'm gonna start giving you that. You want that, right? And I kiss my parents every time I leave when I don't see them again, if I'm leaving for the day or my dad's leaving the office. So, my observation of the day, maybe we should do a little show, observation of the day, is that this is a mistake in our culture, and I recommend you trying it. You will see it is a major uplifting opportunity. Family and friends, that's what wine is so radical for. It brings people together. Please, don't take for granted the people around your life. Love them and let them know that's the way you feel. Number two, rules. I hate them. The rules in the wine industry are out of control. I get so many emails every day. I got like 40 yesterday about, but I thought you were supposed to have white wine with fish. 900 rules, 55 degrees for your cellar. Nobody's cellaring their wines for 30 years. We're all drinking them. We're goddamn Americans. We drink our stuff now. Rules are overrated. Remember that when you drink wine, and I guarantee you'll like it a heck of a lot more. Let's move on. It's a very interesting little producer we have. This is the Bakura 2004 Chilean Chardonnay from Casablanca Valley, which is quickly becoming my favorite part of Chile. 16 US dollars, no score, but a very intriguing producer that has been on my radar lately with a lot of their efforts. I have not had their Chardonnay, but I'm excited to try it. Little whirl, little rinse, and here we go. So now you know we're going into a totally different realm. We're going into a much golden, more complete color, darker, a little cloudier, very pretty on the eyes. You know, we like the golden stuff. Blonde hair, blondes have more fun. Golden is popular. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Major attack from the oak monster on this wine. It's coming through in spades. There's an enormity of oak on this. Not only is the oak monster here, but his entire entourage crew is here as well. An obscene amount of oak coming through on the nose. What comes along with that? Buttered popcorn and a little bit of caramel. Two nice things. Let's give it a whirl. Disjointed, unfocused, over-oaked, too acidic, off-balanced, and downright unacceptable. This wine is a complete pass. I'm gonna score this wine 78 points. It is completely lacking anything that makes this wine interesting at all. Hugely disappointed. You can buy plenty of $6 Australian Chardonnays that taste exactly like this wine, giving it a major pass. I will never taste this wine again. I hope you don't as well. Pass. Let's move on. Fort Ross Vineyard from Sonoma Coast, 2003 Chardonnay, 26 US dollars, only 694 cases produced. 93 points, Wine Spectator, 26 bones, 93 points, Spectator. We have an awfully good chance to redeem ourselves. Fort Ross. Very interesting. There's a good amount of oak on this as well. However, there's an interesting spearmint minty component coming through on the nose as well, which is kind of confusing me. Let's go with mint leaves that you put butter on and you chomp it like it's popcorn. That's exactly what this wine smells like. Very intriguing, very different. Let's give it a whirl. See, this is what I like. I like when the oak monster is there, but he's in the closet. Like the boogeyman. You don't want him out. He scares people. He makes you cry. He definitely makes me cry because you, Vaniacs, have bought a heck of a lot more shirts of his than you have of mine. And Chris Mott's sweating, and I don't think it's in this 96-degree weather. He's scared of the oak monster as well. This is the way we want it. Oak monster in the closet. Oak monster, stay in the closet. Subtle oak, beautiful butter integration. I love the pear component going on. The mid-palate of this wine completely makes this wine tremendous. You get a great big blast of flavor in the beginning. The mid-palate is structured and refined like a classic white Burgundy, and then you go into an elegant, explosive, long, rich, mouth-coating, palate-pleasing effort on the finish that not only is silky, like a red wine, but lasts for about a minute. This is an extremely good bottle of Chardonnay. Spectator got really high on it, 93 points. I cannot disagree. I'm also going to give this bottle 93 points. It's an exceptional effort, and anybody who's out there, text yourself now. It's 2007. Stop writing on the back of your business card. Text yourself this wine. Bring it to restaurants. It's all right, Mott. I'm okay. The weather can't stop me. Text yourself and get this wine because this is an absolute spectacular effort. Kudos to Fort Ross. Exceptional, not overpriced, not $40, $50, $60 Kistler, Peter Michael. I'm talking to you. Great job. Kudos. Seek this wine out. Nice. Beringer has a battle. It's tough to follow that act, but they're gonna try. This is the 2005 Napa Valley Beringer Sbragia Reserve, also a 93-point wine, this time from Robert Parker. 35 US dollars, one of my favorite all-time wines. This wine has long been a big thing for me and my family. My dad loves this wine going back to the 91 and 92 vintages. I've been a big fan of this wine for well over 12, 13 vintages now. So I am a huge, huge fan, and I definitely think it has one of the great pedigrees of Chardonnays out of all of California. As you could tell probably, this is the most golden of the bunch. And I like that. The color is great. This has a smoky attack going on. This smells like you go into those barbecue restaurant pits where they really like to put the smoke up to make you think the food's better. That's what this kind of smells like. It's got a good solid amount of oak. Yes, the oak monster came out of the closet and kicked me in the nuts on this one because it's coming through. But I've got to admit, the smokiness and some of the secondary flavors of pear and apple are kind of disguising it, but it's clearly there. Let's give it a whirl. This is a tough wine for me. This wine is over oaked, and that bothers me and is going to allow me to score this wine 90 points. Now I'm scoring a 90 because everything else is on point. They just over oaked it. 9 months in French oak, it's what you're tasting. Can this subside over time, cellaring 3, 4, 5 years, like this kind of wine with this pedigree needs to do at some level? Yes. Do I like this wine? Kind of. I can't pan it, and I've got to give it a 90-point score because it is good. It is really well made. There's beautiful structure. It coats your palate. It gives you a lot of flavor. The finish is extremely long. I like the overall complexity of the wine. I get some pussy willow kind of aspect going on. You know, just like in the fields, all the dandelions and all that. It reminds me of Edison circa 1987, where we had that pussy willow, you know, and what are those things with those things that you find in the lagoon? Oh man.
Punks?
I don't know, it's got like the long stem with the brown thing and you can light the brown thing on fire.
They're called punks.
Punks?
Yeah.
Let me know what the real thing is, because punks ain't right. This is not Ashton Kutcher kind of coming out, but that stuff, it kind of just reminds me of summer in a wooded area. So that's beautiful about this wine, but the oak is overcoming everything else, and that's unfortunate. This is a problem with a lot of California wines. If this was 3 months in oak or no oak at all, I have a feeling that the quality of this fruit would overshadow what Beringer's concerns are for the oak market in the US. And that's unfortunate. I'm gonna give it 90 points because it is good, but I would give it a pass if you ask me my personal recommendation. Let's move on. Bon Bon 2006 Rosé, $9 US, 88 points, Robert Parker. Mott, I think we need to shake our bonbon. Shake your bonbon, shake your bonbon. Nice, Mott, that was good. We should have that on camera. Then we would get dug. Then people would dig for that little dance. So, this is a very intriguing little rosé that we're selling a crap load of, so I decided to try it out. $9 US, great price for rosé, 88 points Parker, great score for wine of this caliber. Extremely dark, very, very, very dark for an for a rosé wine. Really on the dark side, you tend to see far lighter than this. Beautiful nose of strawberries coming through on this wine. That's absolutely spectacular. It comes through extremely clear. I also get a little hint of red rose on this as well. So it is pretty, and the nose is pretty. Nice simple rosé. It's got good flavor. It's a fun little wine. It's got some nice complexity to it. If you're looking for an entry-level rosé, $9 is not that scary. CKCs can seek this out. I'm gonna give it 87 points. I mean, it's not an 88-point wine to me, but what the hell does that mean? Stop buying on one point or another. Another thing, Forget what I score. I know you like the show. I know you like me. Trust yourself. If you disagree with me, leave a comment. Say, Gary, I tried that wine you gave an 88 to. You suck, Vaynerchuk. This is a 92 pointer. Or, flip side, Vaynerchuk, you told me this wine was gonna rock it out at 91 points. It's an 84. You blow, Vaynerchuk. Let me know. Trust yourself. Nobody else. Parker, spectator, nobody. So, that being said, it's an 87 point wine. And now the grand finale. And this is where I like to talk about rules. I'm gonna have a link to this wine for you to Wine Searcher so you can find it, because we don't sell this. This wine came from my personal cellar. I want to give a gift to the Maniacs. I miss you guys. I missed you a bunch yesterday when I didn't have time to do a show. It broke my heart. This is the Lando 2001 Saint-Emilion. This wine retails for $150 to $200 a bottle. This wine has been taken out of my little cooler for about a couple weeks, so it's at total room temperature. It is 97 degrees outside. I'm sweating profusely, as Gorilla Monsoon would like to say. But I'm gonna drink this wine because I don't care about the rules. Do we care about the rules? No, we don't. What we care about is enjoying life. Oh, some sweat got in my eye. It's getting good now. I'm gonna give it a rinse. This wine retails for $150 to $200. It is rated 94 points by Robert Parker. Let's see what it does on a 97 degree day while it's been sitting here in the heat for a while. Remember, wine is much tougher than we give it credit for. People are like, oh, it was in my car for an hour and it was hot. What do you think all the old wines on all those fancy smancy restaurants that everybody goes to? Do you think that they've been properly stored? Most of the great old wine in the US today has not been properly stored. You see what that is? That's the wine industry. They just drove that car, that truck, because they don't want me to tell you what's really going on. But trust me, a lot of the old wine is scary, very scary. Beautiful dark color. This is a blend of about 80% Merlot, 20% Cab Franc, big ups to CF. A great grape, brings a lot to the table when it comes to Saint-Emilion. Let's give it a whirl. This is an aromatic dream. Blackberry, black syrup, little cherry action going on. A raspberry reduction jam sauce coming through. I'm getting a little bit of like sticks. It's not oak, but it's like a little woody aspect. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful on the nose. I can tell you, it tastes a little like hot cocoa because it's warm. But besides that, I'm getting absolutely tremendous attack by the raspberry clan. They're all coming out with their swords and they're just invading my palate. The amount of raspberry that comes through in this wine is uncanny. I do get subtle hints of licorice, dark licorice, black kirsch, kirsch royale, little liqueur aspect type flavors going on. Very viscous, explosive on my palate. Well structured, long finish, well made. Look at this. There's a nice subtlety of some green flavors on the finish, almost like a broccoli top. Not the stem, but the top of a broccoli, with a little cocoa dust going on as well. This has a lot going on. The tannins are massive. My palate is extremely dry. I'm gonna score this wine 92 plus points. I like it a lot. Can the heat affect it? Very darn possible. Can my mood affect it? Hell yeah. Can Chris Mott affect it? Damn right. Can your babysitter canceling on you affect it? You're right. Can a score of a football game affect it? Uh-huh. Wine is an emotional thing. Don't buy wines by ratings, please. Try different wines. I ran my marathon for you today because I love you. Love me back and try different things. Trying different things will open your mind to wine and you will start liking it. Remember, wine is the few things in this world that are good and fun because you can get hammered on it or you can have it with a beautiful meal and it's good for you. Go figure. Question of the day. What is your favorite summertime wine? And I gotta tell you something. You owe me a response this time. Lurkers, I ran a damn marathon for you. Because you, and I mean that, and a little bit of me, less and less every day because of you. We're changing the wine world, aren't we?